SML podcast, playing the field, Field General 007. We've got another freaking banger going on today, boys. We got some things that need addressed. A lot of heat, a lot of fucking throws being thrown out there, and this time, the body bag is going to hit back. I got Coach Paulie in the house. We're responding to this is going to be the truth on playing the field. Paulie, how you doing, sir?
What's up, Field? I appreciate it, man. This is another show that I truly respect, that you always go after the truth, man. That's why it's honored to be on this show.
All right, Paulie. So I don't know if you've heard about it, Saul. I know you're kind of aware of everything that's going on in the SML. You kind of keep it low-key at times. A lot of shots were fired, dude. It was almost like you were in Afghanistan, and they were spraying and praying and just hitting you with no regard for human life. Bomber and Prime, they had a conspiracy theory video, all right? And they said basically that you and Dan are tanking. Now, Dan's little segue was maybe 2 or 3 minutes in there. It was kind of basically them saying that Dan was tanking to have a lesser opponent to play in the playoffs. You had about a 7 or 8 minute rendition. They basically said that now all of a sudden you're no longer a Tom Brady fanboy, that you're tanking to get a good draft pick, to get a quarterback, that you shanked field goals. You've done a lot of just crazy things in late in games to give games away. I'm going to start by asking you, have you seen the episode?
I haven't seen the whole thing yet. I've seen the part about me, but I guess that was most of it, because that thing should have just been called, Go at Paulie, which, hey, if I can dish it out, then I should be able to take it, which I can. And hey, it's a video game. It's all good fun. What can I take, right? Yes, right. I have.
Right. Okay. So some random thoughts that I've got from a couple other users. They feel that you have no place to feel bad about this video because of things you've done on The Truth in the past, such as making a video using mic audio clips. Do you feel that this was warranted, or that they crossed the line, or maybe that you opened Pandora's box a little bit?
Oh, come at me, baby. Dude, this is fun. Like I said, this is what makes me want to be in Madden leagues. I don't like really, playing. Like wins and losses, I can care less about. This is the stuff that keeps me interested. I've been bored lately, and hey, we need some, some days of our lives type shit. And hey, this is what it takes.
That's what it is for sure right now, is days of our lives. But let me ask you the elephant in the room. Are you tanking? Have you been tanking this year? Or, I mean, the way that Bomber put it out, you've never had a losing season. He contacted some of your compadres from your other league. They basically said that you've never been bad. He showed some stuff on there where they were leaving reviews that the Jets owner, Paulie, is the second gift of Christ, and all these things. Have you been tanking, Paulie?
All right, first, let me get to Bomber. Before I get to the truth, I'm going to get to Bomber real quick. So take a seat, grab a beer. So, Bomber, man, I appreciate everything Bomber does for the league. And, without him in the league, the SML wouldn't be what it is.
Sure.
And he's the perfect guy to do it because, he's pretty much retired. He works, I don't even know if he works from home, and he stays in his old boy pajamas all day and does Madden stuff, which is awesome for the league,
Yeah.
For me, like you, this league is a hobby. And for Bomber, it's becoming almost an addiction. So when a hobby becomes an addiction, that's a tough trait, right? But without him, the SML needs him, so I'm glad. Yeah, exactly. So we need him here. So it's good that it's become an addiction to him, all these shows. And when Bomber first started here in the SML, he was a little bit of a marshmallow, with the shows. He was like, oh, great rushing leaders. What do you think about your rushing leaders? Like, nobody freaking cares about fucking rushing leaders, dude. So, but now he's starting to realize from The Godfather the truth of, who brought it into the SML of attacking people and discovering things and going at people, all in good fun, right? All in good fun. Even Mike is all in good fun. I didn't mean it bad. But, he's starting to, know what clicks, what gets clicks, what gets people viewing. So he mentions my name and he gets me on and he knows that's going to attract people. So, I appreciate Bomber and all he's doing. He used to be a marshmallow, but now he's becoming a real, he's figuring out what it takes to make a good podcast in the SML. It's no longer a pillow fight in his podcast. Now, I love the conspiracy theory show, and he's got the time to do it, man. He works from home. I wish I worked from home and I could be, some of these guys in here take it to the next level. Me and you, I have to actually report to work and do work. Like, I can't sit at home all day. I try the best I can to be active in chat, but I can't, right? So that's the first thing. Bomber's great, but hey, it is what it is. I appreciate him calling me out. And even he already went to guys in my league who I know who he went to because they came to me and said, Paulie, what was I supposed to say? You were pretty good here. And I
Right.
go, say the truth. I said, say the truth. I know who they were because I have a lot of friends in that league. It's a great league. And Bomber went there. And since then, there's been 2 SML members that have applied to join that league. So he did better for that league than he did for our league. I don't know what he's doing, but somebody's in his head. And that's the truth. So going back to that, that's what I have to say about Bomber. Now, as far as the tanking, I'm sorry I'm talking, but I got to get off my chest. So I've been playing games like every other season, and I've missed field goals like every other season. And I did a stupid, my running back just got 2 upgrade points on the circle spin move, whatever that is. So I tried it, and I lateraled it by mistake. Whatever. I pressed. I don't even know why why do they have a lateral button in Madden? Who uses that?
Nobody, other than when you're doing like read out, like the power option play.
Yeah, like I don't even use option in my offense here because I feel like it's always on the ground. But I pressed the button, it went backwards when I was trying to spin move, which I don't usually do spin moves. And my running back just got +2, so I wanted to test it out. And I ended up freaking throwing the ball to no man's land. So whatever. So I've been playing games the normal way. What I haven't been doing towards the end is scouting my opponents and prepping like I usually do. Because I've been at the end of football season, we do our closing meetings on every player and what they have to do to get better. And I've had no time. And I've sat Tom Brady, and that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Field. And the reason I did that is I want to see what it's like to play with a bad QB with Trask, because I don't know what it's like to play with a bad QB, and that's what I'm probably going to have going forward. Because I don't really want the top pick, and now I'm definitely not going to have the top pick. So I want to just see, because Tom Brady's done after the season. His throw power is down to, Minnie Mouse level, and I can't play with him much longer. So I'm just trying it out, and I wasn't going to win the division. I wasn't going to make the playoffs. I played prime to a last-minute score. I played dump to a last-minute score. I played everybody close. I didn't get blown out. I think I got blown out once a season. And they say I'm tanking. Like, I get it. When the microscope's on somebody, you're going to find imperfections, and that's fine. I accept it, and I'm okay. I do what's best for the league. If they want to, and that is what it is. Like, that's what how I'm going to defend it. If they think I'm tanking, it's perception versus reality. If they perceive me to be tanking, then whatever. I'll take whatever the league gives me, But what I want to say is one thing is I talked to Prime on this matter, and I already told him, and we talked about it, and I agreed that I'm going to give up my first-round pick. I'm going to take a kicker just because I want to be fair to the league. If everybody thinks I'm tanking, then I don't really care. I'll give up. I told Prime, and he can vouch for me, I'll give up every pick this whole cycle. And I even want to give up my second first-round pick. I don't care. I'll give up every first-round pick. I do it for fun, man. I don't care about winning Super Bowls. I don't think I'm at that point in my career.
Do you think that there's any type of beef of why Bomber and Prime have centered you, or that's just that they see you as a threat and that kind of put the scope a little bit further on you for them to make an entire video, an entire segment to where they went through some of your buddies to get some info on you, or do you think it's just because you're having a shitball season?
I think I'm a personality that draws clicks, and Bomber now knows that if he gets certain people on certain shows, that you're going to get more clicks than others. It's common sense. And Prime's been, he backstabbed me, whatever, and he's been cool though. Like, see, I don't want to put any pressure or Prime in an unfortunate situation as commissioner, because I've been there before,
right?
And I'm not here to cause problems like that. So I told him, and we talked about it, and I said, yeah, absolutely, take away my pick, or tell me what player I should take: field goal kicker, punter, water boy, whatever. I don't want to put Prime in an uncomfortable position. So we chatted, and that's what I'm going to do with my first pick. I'm going to take a kicker, and if they want me to take a kicker with my second first-round pick, that's fine. And every pick from the rest of the cycle, I'm all right with that. I'll be happy to do that because I don't really care. It's a game. I want to have fun. Like I said, chat is where it's all about with me. But I was also told by another SML member in chat, and I don't know if this is true because I haven't checked in DMs, that there is no rule in the rule book for tanking, specifically for tanking. So I don't know if that's true or not, but if it's not, then the commissioner has the power to do whatever he wants, and that's what we're doing here. It's over. I'm not drafting anybody except for kicker or whoever Prime wants me to take with that first or even the second first round. I don't care, and that's the way it's going to be.
I just I went to the simmaddenleague.com rules page. I used Control F for find. I put down tanking, tank, and nothing came up, Paulie. So I think that you're correct in that aspect. Now, let's talk about you going forward. Do you think that you're done with the SML, that this burned your bridge, or this is just going to light a fire in your ass, and Coach Paulie's going to be back and better than ever next season, or where are we at?
No, we'll see what happens. How much time you people, like I said, like I have to. I just got a JV basketball job put in my lap 2 days ago, and I never coached JV basketball in my life. So I'm reaching out to Dunk Face, I think it is, or whatever. So I don't know. I'm reaching out to him and about stuff. So I'm kind of, my head's spinning right now. But I want to be good. I want to be good. I played everybody close. People think I'm tanking, but I'm not the best buttons guy. Look at my field goals. I think I missed one versus Clink in the playoffs last year. I think I missed a field goal from like 20 yards, and my connection's not the greatest. And in that game, my kids are running around my feet. It's like not all simple what people think. Like, I'm here. Yeah, I'm going to take a QB. Like, I get it. Bomber wants to put that out there. I love Bomber. He's great for the SML, but perception is not always reality, when it comes to that,
So let me ask you about something else. There was, I don't even really remember because I didn't watch a whole lot. I think Matt posted something in chat. I think he clipped a video or something. You know anything about that?
Yeah, Matt, I'm disappointed in Matt. I'm really disappointed because he showed that he's a weasel. He's a weasel, and he's a bit two-faced because after the game I played versus him, he goes, yeah, good game, man. I go, yeah, good game. This game's crazy. Yeah, we're both pretty bad. Didn't mention anything about the field goal kick, right? Very shady. Like somebody's not going to say something to your face. That tells you kind of what kind of man they are. And then 2 minutes later, he posts a video in chat and like, boom, everything explodes. Like, not even like telling me or anything. Like, I don't care, but it's kind of two-faced. That's something like a kid I was stuffing a locker in high school would do,
Right.
Like something like that, but hey, I just consider, I consider myself an honest guy. I tell the truth, and that was a little weaselly, and I'm not going to bring it into this, but I watched that game while I was at work today on my lunch break. And he's one of the best users in the SML.
Yeah.
He was pulling off guys a little bit and allowing me to run through holes and pulling away from running lanes on defense. And I think there was a little setup there. And I challenge anybody to watch that video. He was throwing at Mike's corners' backs in a cover two coverage, which he never does because he's pretty good, at throwing and reading. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to, any accusations. But just see the video and watch his user as I run through the hole, pulling away. I don't know if he was put up to that by somebody or if he did it on his own accord. But, if he's man enough, he'd admit it. But I know he won't because obviously he's a weasel.
Do you think that Dan is tanking to play an inferior opponent in the playoffs, or do you think that just another string of bad luck?
I think Dan's struggling right now, man.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think Dan's struggling. Last year, he had a great team. And he figured out the game really quickly. He plays the game a lot, much like Bomber. He plays the game like a lot, But, Dan's struggling with the game. Like Bomber, he had number one pick. And he got lucky, very lucky, that he got like the Freddie Golden that Meats had from a couple years ago that we didn't know what was OP. But this year, he got that guy, which was Chubb. But we didn't know that. He didn't even know that going into the cycle. And that's one of the reasons he's being successful. Because if he had like an average team with an average running back, I don't think he would have won the championship, especially the first season. But his running back is crazy, dude,
For sure.
But no, I definitely don't think Dan is tanking, too much. I know Prime likes to, bring that up, but no.
So with you and Prime, there was I think before your game, he did a video with, the misses and all that, and they were kind of taking some shots at you. Was that all for show, that little bit of the beef, or do you think that beef was actually legit because it carried over into this conspiracy theory?
I love Mrs. Prime, actually. Hey. But no, I think Prime wants me back on his side because without me, he doesn't feel like he has a good shot at defeating the big three in the AFC. And, it's granted, but, I talked to him and we were on good terms, I told him, until he went on conspiracy theory with Bomber. I didn't know he was going to be on there. And he was kind of, he was kind of like agreeing with everything Bomber said. And wasn't really, and he told me it was about Dan, but it wasn't really about Dan. That whole show was about me. It was just kind of a cover up. So he can say whatever he wants. I'm not as dumb as I look. So whatever. But now he's in this unfortunate situation of the weasels going to him and thinking I'm tanking, and that's fine. And I know I don't want to put him in this situation. And like I told you before, my number one pick is Gonzo. It's a kicker. I'll probably have best special teams in the league, for, next year if he makes me take him. That's fine. no problem. But no, I think we're good now. Prime's fine. I have no.
Lost you a little bit there. You cut out. Um, little technical difficulties. Hoping we get Paulie back here in just a second. But a lot of interesting things that have been said so far, and I think the rivalry is hotter than what it's ever been. And now with this conspiracy theory video taking off, hopefully that's enough to light a fire under Coach Paulie. If you guys are watching still at this point, Paulie's having a 3-13 season. He's got a pretty good roster. Like I said, he wanted to try something different with the quarterback position. Maybe a lot of the turnover ratio wasn't great. Tom Brady, 14 tutties, 22 interceptions. Kyle Trask, 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Still has 1,000 or 1,100 yards with Rojo. OJ Howard's the leading receiver. I think maybe we can get it to Mike Evans and Godwin a little bit. All right, Coach, I think we need to talk about a couple other topics because this is the truth, and we got you on here. We appreciate the truth, and we need to get it out. So let's talk about a couple things. The AFC South's been a shit show. I can't say anything. Is there anyone that's ever going to take headway in this division, or is it going to be pretty much terrible football all cycle?
Oh, that's a tough division. It depends. For me, it depends on how much ganja Coop smokes. If the more he smokes, the better he's going to be.
He's
that's all. Yeah, for sure. He plays better definitely when he's 5 sheets to the wind. I've noticed, and I give him all the credit in the world. You do whatever you got to do to win, right? So if that's what he needs to do, then do it.
What do you think about Noel coming back, and what do you think about the NFC as a whole? I mean, you basically have QP, NYT, was my silent night, holy night, and Dump, who Dump has been kind of like Dump of old. He's won a lot of regular season games. I think that's who was in the Super Bowl last season. Dump doing a lot of good stuff, but nobody really giving the NFC any love. What do you think about what's going on over there?
Yeah, Noel, I actually just played him close. I lost in the last drive to Noel. He's good now. If he can get that running back going, I think he's going to be very dangerous. Dump depends on the girl situation. If it's hot or cold on him, he hasn't really proven much in the playoffs. And then NYT, I think he's better now because I don't know if is it circus or a fair he works in, but I don't think if they run in the winter, he has more time to practice because he seems to know a lot about the game and stuff. So he's a favorite too in the NFC for sure. I like the way he's playing and his defense.
What do you think about Spade? A guy that kind of lights up the scoreboard, seems to know another student of the game, if you will. Or what do you think about the Ravens and Spade?
I think Spade's good, but I think people can figure him out, and he has Bomber in his division, and Bomber's team with that running back can be very hard to beat. Like, I don't think Bomber is like the greatest player, but he's with the perfect team for this Madden, I would say, so it's going to be hard to beat Bomber. I think he might sneak it out depending how much of
I think I lost you again there, Coach. Oh, there you go.
Come on.
There you are.
All
right, still got you. So the only thing I will say about Bomber, I feel like with his film study, he has a pretty good user on defense, and then he's actually got pretty good stick skills. So when you have a great running back and you add some stick skills to it, I think that's why he's 16-1. I don't think that necessarily that the passing and overall offense is overall that dominant. But like you said, the skills that he does have combined with the team he has is equaling a 16-1 and a Super Bowl last season. So what do you think about QP? Is he legit or just the crappy division?
I think QP is legit, He's building up his team nicely. If I was going to pick him or Bomber, in the Super Bowl, is that who Bomber faced last year? Was it QP? It was Dump.
I think it was Dump.
I think QP would have gave him a pretty good match. The only difference there is, Bomber is the SML's first full-time member. He's full-time SML.
Right.
So I think that puts him over the edge because he knows the game a little bit more.
And out of those, basically the four-headed race there in the AFC with the Browns, Chiefs, Bills, and Chargers, who do you think is top dog? You think that's Bomber that's going to come out with the AFC conference?
Even though he has the team, best team in Madden, that running back, pretty good secondary, pretty fast Schwartz, I think he could be figured out. I watched the game not too long ago, and he ran pretty much the same concept like 8 times. Like it's the dig and go with a zig on the right side with trips on the right. I think good guys like Faz, Dan, Prime. They're going to be able to figure that out if he starts doing that. So I think he has a chance, but I think I give me Faz, man. Faz. I think Faz, unless Prime gets my help again in these playoffs, I think Faz is the favorite going in.
Faz is pretty good. I like his stick skills. I think the only chink in his armor is the lack of a running game. If you kind of have one of those bad games, especially if it's a bad weather game where you're not able to throw the ball all over the field, I don't know how well that's going to play for him. Like I said, I love the fact that he really understands Madden really well. He's able to see plays as they unfold. He calls stuff out on his stream. But he's got 1,200 yards between Tavon Hayward and Zach Moss. Not as dominant with the running game this year as he was with the Vikings. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there. What do you think's going on in the AFC East with Meats and the boys?
I think Meats doesn't have that Freddie Golden. Whenever Meats is good, he has a player that's OP in the game, right? He had last cycle, he was all right. He had Kyler, right, running around. Mm-hmm. He had the year before that, he had X Factor, joystick. He needs that kind of person on his team to be good in the game. He's not that good at the game where he can just get away with a normal team like some people can, you know?
Yeah, it seems like he's kind of struggling with Miami. You know, they're a normal team or a little under. They're pretty much just like an average team. There's not a whole lot there. He hasn't really developed a whole lot, and he's got Big Daddy Faz in his division. Also, you can't, even though DW is 6-10 and the Patriots are 6-8, those are both pretty good users there. So I think that's an interesting division to watch. What do you think is the toughest division so far from what you've seen?
I'd still say the Wild Wild West maybe. The Wild Wild West is pretty tough. Prime, Dan, even though he's a little down right now, and then Dunkface is pretty good. You know, all those guys there are pretty good. You know, even though they took a hit when who's the Clicks leader? What's his name again? That left? RD. He left, so it's, you know, ever since then it's been a little weak. And I think, you know, the other West is okay. Noel, if he proves to be okay. Also, I think the Lions, that division with the Lions is pretty good. You know, Montez Sweat is in there, so.
Yeah. Are you going to be able to bounce back and win the NFC South next season, or do you think that Clink's got enough help from Faz that he's able to slam that door on you?
Snoopy, you're talking about? Snoopy, yeah, Snoopy's good. Yeah, Snoopy's good. He's got help from Faz or Faz playing with him, whatever is happening over there. I think it's going to take me a couple years to find the next QB. You know, maybe I'll draft them in round 2 or whatever this year, or round 3 or wherever. You know, like I said, if I don't have a pick, then I'll just pick somebody up in free agency and I'll just try to roll with them. But it's going to take me a couple years to figure things out, like the aftermath after Brady leaves. You know, I didn't expect Brady to decline so bad. I should have, you know, kind of sought out Dan because he knows everything about this game, but I didn't. That's my mistake. He went from throw power like 94, 92 to like 89 in 1 year, and he's probably going to go down to like an 84 after the season. And using a quarterback now that has 84, that's why I want to try him. Trask, it's horrible. Yeah. You can't throw anything deep.
Nope. That's where I'm at.
Yep, it's horrible.
It's tough, dude, because you're not really able to stretch the field, and like everybody knows, the game plan kind of revolves around Derrick Henry with me. So if you're not able to push the field, like a lot of the throws are just straight up just underthrown, where you'd be able to throw the gun bunch tight end PA cross and push it out the triangle on a deep pass. You can't. You just don't have that ability. Then you see Faz and Prime where they got the quick draw quarterbacks, and you know the release insane, the throw power is insane, and they're able to make these video game type throws that, you know, most of us can't make because you got an average to below average arm strength. So I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's tough. And that's another reason why I wanted to try Trask and somebody with no arm strength, just in case I get stuck with a quarterback like that. But I've noticed that arm strength is very, very important in this game. And mobility, you know, rolling. Yeah. I'm not going to say rolling because Bomber might say, oh boy, because he hates the rolling. But rolling is, you know, a big part of this game, I've noticed too. And Tom Brady has like negative 44 speed, so that's another factor.
Would you have reconsidered your selection if you realized that Tom Brady was going to regress so quickly in terms of arm strength?
If I'm going to be honest, no, because in all my, playing Madden since I was 21 in college and all that stuff, and now here being 42 and playing, I've never had Tom Brady. So this is the one, year where, hey, he's not going to be here much longer. I was like, and it fell to me. It was either them or the 49ers, and what's his name? My boy Figs took the 49ers. So I was like, hey, God's telling me the sign. So took Tom Brady. First year, I did awesome. I'll never forget that. And this year wasn't so great, so hey, I'll live with it. But I just got to play with Tommy, and that's all I wanted.
Well, there you go. Do you got any other messages you want to send out there, maybe to some of the other sheep?
No, man, there's a lot of sheep and weasels that hide in the weeds, and I know who they are because, I get some info. Hey, it's all fun and games, And like I said before, and I've said it, Field, hey, all my picks, take them all away. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good with it, man. Like I said, I enjoy Chad and all that stuff. If the perception is that I'm tanking, then I'll accept that. I don't want any pressure on Prime of the weasels going to him. That's not what I'm about. I'll take it and I'll try to build from there. I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. You gotta brush yourself off, get up, and get better. That's all.
So this has been the truth on Playing the Field. We got down to some of the real stuff that needed to be addressed. I think we've now heard Paulie's side. Sometimes you get these videos where some attacks are made and only you get a response in social chat. You don't really get to get an in-depth insight from the victim. And in this case, Paulie, I felt, was a little bit of a victim. I'm glad we were able to address that, Coach. I hope that in the future that the Bucs can figure it out, maybe take back the NFC South, that you will put the tank away, maybe use a different weapon next year and go on the offensive side. I can't have you tanking no more. That doesn't work for me. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking time out of your day, dude, to come on here for a rebuttal. I think that some people are going to enjoy your insights, and as always, it's a pleasure talking to you.
Hey, much love. And hey, if I don't get to talk to everybody, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and their families during this time of the holiday. And hey, just make sure to take time away from Madden and spend some time with your families. Because before you know it, that time's going to be gone and they're going to be in college and whatnot. And you're going to be left with Madden still. Don't worry about it.
Madden's always going to be there, probably. So appreciate you guys. Check us out. SimMaddenLeague.com, DaddyLeagues.com/SML. Make sure you're tweeting your tweets. Tag at SimMaddenLeague. The advances are going by pretty quick. We're in the last week as of recording for Season 2. So congrats on that. A lot of quick advances. Good luck in the playoffs. I know I'll be watching from home. Like, subscribe, take care. Have a great day.